Okay, we've made it to another Friday, boys, girls, and everyone in between. Welcome to another night of chilling and drawing with S Art Studio. We are a studio created by artists for artists, and in our drawing sessions, we talk about anything that crosses our minds while creating human art. I am Esso, and with me, as always, is the co-creator and motivator, Miss Lily.
Hello, welcome back, everybody.
Mark is in chat. How's it going today, man? Let's see here. All right, so tonight is a free for all. Pretty much where we take a break from challenges to draw and talk about whatever comes across our brains, minds, attention, um, pretty much all of our consciousness. But before we go into that, let's get a little housekeeping out of the way. If you are watching the stream, join us in chat. It lets YouTube and Twitch know that you're here and counted. If this is your first time watching on Twitch, be sure to hit that follow button. And if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and bell so you can get notifications next time we're on. Let's see. Other than that, if in chat, we should have Miss Lily's socials. You can catch her on Instagram and TikTok at Lily Lilac Draws, all one word. Feel free to head over there and see the latest drawings she has up, especially that new Chinese New Year drawing that you did. That one looked pretty awesome.
Thank
Um,
you.
and then if you want any more artwork, clips, or if you want to donate to the studio, we have our link spree link up in the chat as well. Please feel free to visit that. And let's see. Other than that, I think we are ready to get into the stream. So let me go ahead and switch the scene over so we can take a look at what we are working on here. There we go. All right, what do you think you're going to be working on today, Lily?
Just a few things. This is something I've been working on the side. Uh, kind of being inspired by a lot of old Asian artwork, like
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like old Chinese artwork and Japanese artwork, especially like tattoo work as well. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and if you can't tell, it's Arcanine from Pokemon. Kind of leaning into that as well, because who doesn't like Pokemon? But
Right?
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm working on today. And then maybe some more animating.
Okay, cool. Cool. I do like that the uh, designs that the Chinese used to have for their mythological creatures looked freaking awesome, man. Obviously, I've never seen any kind of original art. Most artwork that I've ever seen from their various mythological tales have been through the internet or on the mural. Like I would love
Mm.
to one day head over there and take a look at it myself, but until then, I gotta plan that trip. um,
Oh yeah.
I think tonight I will be working on coloring the Gachiakuta drawing that I did last week. I wanted to take some coloring tips from murals or graffiti murals that I've seen. I was looking at a couple of them that we have here in city. Have you ever seen the murals on the side of the buildings on city in the city?
Yeah, a bit.
Oh man, they got some amazing stuff. So I've been taking a look at photos of that and various other cities around the country and trying to get some inspiration on color scheme. So we'll see if I can get to any of that today. um, but yeah, I really want to kind of like put a cool graffiti um, look to the coloring. Maybe it look make them look almost like a mural themselves. But
Mm.
we'll see what happens going towards the end. I don't know how far I'll get on it, but we'll see. um, Other than that, man, we've got a lot of subjects to dive into. Lily has brought the fire tonight, man. I was taking a look at some of the subjects that you were writing down, dude, and this is going to be fun to talk about. I'm ready. My mind is ready.
All right.
um, but yeah, yeah,
So I
start
guess
us
I'll
off.
start. Okay. I want to start off by giving my condolences and respect to some figures
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the gaming um community. Um really, these guys are notorious characters. The second one I don't really know just because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't played any of the games, but I'll start by saying that Hideko Sato Hideko Sato passed at 75 this week.
Man.
He was the father of Sega hardware. He was the one who worked and designed on all the Sega consoles.
Oh
Um,
man. Yeah,
I'm
he
not sure. Yeah,
No, go ahead.
I'm not sure how he passed.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been due to old age.
Mm.
Could have been health complications, but yeah, he passed this week.
At 75, I mean
Hmm.
the man gets all of my praises. I mean, my first console was a Sega Genesis, so I owe my gaming hobbies to this man. So,
Yes, kind of same here. Our first console was the Sega Genesis back
mhm.
when um we lived in Dubai right
Yeah.
before we moved here. Uh, my earliest memories were of my brother playing Sonic the Hedgehog and not letting me play at all.
Mhm. As
um
they do.
yeah, as they do. But yeah, that's you know, um rest in peace, Mr.
Yeah.
Sato.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. That's a
And then
giant amongst
another
men.
Yeah. And then another guy, he was a programmer at Konami um for a really long time, and he worked on a lot of the Castlevania titles. I believe many of the most recent ones anyways.
Mhm.
Shutaro Ida passed at 52 this week due to pancreatic cancer.
Oh man, that's so
Um
young too.
yeah, and I his family I think he announced in 2004 that he had it and that he was fighting it and that he was still working on his last Castlevania title and then also a new title.
Mhm.
And then when he passed, his family announced it. And I think a longtime friend and colleague of his in the gaming community um, is going to be carrying on his legacy in finishing that last title he was working on. I
Mm.
don't remember what it's called. I just know it's not a Castlevania game.
Yes, it's see, so I looked it up and it was a game by the name of Bloodstained. It
Yeah.
looked like an original IP that he was working on.
Mm-mm. Yeah. So,
I mean, yeah,
um,
he has a long history, not only
mm.
of the Castlevania franchise, but he was also a key developer on the Metal Gear Solid franchise too. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, I didn't know that until I was researching games that he's worked on in the past, and I was like, oh no,
Mm.
like he worked on some of my favorite franchises.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Well, since he worked at Konami, then he's worked at Konami for
For a
much
long
longer
time.
than
Yeah.
than I remembered.
Yeah,
Dang.
because
Well,
the earliest Metal Gear Solid game was almost what, a decade ago. So yeah.
only? Are you sure?
I mean, it may be more. Maybe I'm trying not to age
Metal
myself
Gear
here.
Solid.
I
That's
think
an okay, not to age us or anything, but
yeah.
that's kind of an old game.
Well,
Like
Metal Gear. Well,
the first one anyway.
I guess the latest Metal Gear Solid 5 was released in what was that? 2015. So that was a little over a decade ago.
Okay, so did he work on like many of the other Metal Gear Solid titles, or was it just that one?
That's a good question
Do you know?
because whenever I was doing my research, I only found that he had worked on. the Metal Gear Solid franchise, but I didn't see which specific games that he worked on. So
Mm,
I can only
okay.
assume that it may have been some of the earlier titles as opposed to, especially, well, I mean, like you said, if he worked on Castlevania, it could have been the later titles as well. But I mean, he had to
Yeah,
have
if it
worked
were
hand
the
in hand
later,
with
yeah.
Hideo Kojima.
I think I read that too. I'm not sure, but he worked on some pretty big titles. Castlevania is one of them. Funnily enough, I saw when they announced his passing, they put up the picture the for the anime,
Mm-hmm.
Flash cartoon that got released on Netflix, and I was like, did he help? Did he help with that? No, he didn't. But which is like, I don't like that they're doing that. I
Yeah.
guess to garner more attention to who he was, which yes, he was, really big in this um corner of
Right.
media,
Mm-hmm.
but not in this media. Like I don't know if they're implying that maybe I need to do more research. Maybe the new Castlevania um cartoon slash anime that got
Mm-hmm.
released was inspired by a lot of the titles he
Probably,
came out
yeah.
with.
I would say it's more on that front where it's more or
Maybe.
less that it was inspired by games that he's worked on. But I
Yeah.
don't know if he's
'Cause-
actually worked on the actual animations.
Oh yeah, no, he
Mm.
didn't. Cause I did look that up. Cause I was like, cause when I was reading about him, they were like, yeah, he worked on a lot of the games, and I was like, okay, does that mean he also helped with this too, like the anime?
Yeah.
And he didn't. Which, you know, come on, guys, stop c- farming clicks.
Right.
Basically, is what
Start
they're
stop trying to
doing.
cash in on the man's name.
Yeah,
That's
like
not cool.
I don't think it's right. It's weird. It's a moral gray area, I
Mm-hmm.
think, leaning more towards bad, where
Yeah.
a lot of people generate clicks by doing whatever they can, right? Clickbait.
Yeah.
But
Constantly.
uh I don't like it. Anyways, that's what happened. Um so we can go on to our next topic. Which one should we start with first? Cuz there's a lot of them.
There is a lot
Um
of them. Yeah.
I guess I can start by saying that you brought up one of our first streams that Paramount um lost the bidding war to Netflix for
Mm-hmm.
Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So last week Paramount actually boosted their bid for Warner Brothers. They
Oh
offered to
God.
pay for the termination fee with Netflix because Netflix won, so they have a contract. So they're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, we're offering more money. We're offering to pay for that termination fee with Netflix. And they're also offering to pay for fees related to their debt refinancing, um, which is not not anything to scoff at, right? That must
Right.
have been
Right.
a lot of money,
Ah, God.
and and it and it worked because Warner Brothers this week is considering reopening the bid because of it.
No, no, I don't. I don't. I
Yeah.
really don't need Paramount owning Warner Brothers.
I
What?
mean, given what's happening right now, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also saw another article today where I don't like I think the co-CEO or
Yes.
CEO of Netflix
Mm-hmm.
was like, no, if Netflix goes through with owning Warner Brothers, movie production will not go down. We will
Mm-hmm.
keep Warner Brothers movie productions um basically the same. Like they'll
Yeah.
operate the same.
Yeah.
Um,
The Bloomberg article that I read,
mm,
that had the interview with what's his name? His name is Ted Sarandos. I believe he's the
mhm.
co-CEO. He was saying that in fact it would even boost the amount of movies going to theaters because of the properties that Netflix owns, right? So he would say that, you know, Netflix series that deserve a movie would get a movie themselves. So we would end up not only seeing the, regular run of movies that Warner Brothers would normally produce, but also movies coming out of Netflix and their
Mm-hmm.
properties, right? So we could have seen, like you said, whenever Stranger Things season 5 came out and they released the last 2 episodes as a movie, or they could be doing like a Three Body Problem movie, or I mean, God knows how many different. And not only that, but isn't Netflix, didn't they partner with Mappa recently?
Did
The
they?
the anime production company. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Did
I
we
don't
talk
know.
about that? Let me see that. I believe Netflix.
Acquired them or
No,
partnering with
I
them?
think they partnered with them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, Netflix and Mappa strengthens a strategic partnership. So more, let's see, at they say Netflix and Mappa strengthens strategic partnership, aiming to co-create a world-class animation studio model. So it looks like Netflix is going to be boosting Mappa Studio. Let's see here. They're going to work together on new projects with a global perspective, from
Mm-hmm.
story development to merchandise, and Netflix will exclusively stream a slate of original Mappa-produced anime titles to members worldwide. So imagine you can only imagine that if Netflix acquires Warner Brothers, we could be getting possibly even more anime movies hitting the United States,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. But that's what I said. I said I wasn't worried about Netflix
Mm-hmm.
stopping production on movies because they saw the potential with their last two movie releases. They
Mm-hmm.
saw all the bank coming in with I don't even know if it was even a week altogether of
Yeah.
days where they
Yeah.
released K-pop Demon Hunters. That racked in so much dough.
So much
And
money.
then along with the Stranger Things finale,
Mm-hmm.
sold out seats across the board, like everywhere.
Yeah.
People were saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't get a seat. I have to watch it like a week later, or I have to watch it at home."
Yeah.
Like they saw, and I'm pretty sure they were testing the waters with these, and they saw the payback, and they were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Okay, for sure, we are buying Warner Brothers,"
Yeah.
which
You called it, dude.
just
You
yeah,
absolutely
just
called it.
do it.
Just
Yeah,
do it.
like mhm, I saw their move with this just as a way to make more money, and with all of their, which is what a business does, right? They want to make
Mm-hmm.
more money. Um, and yeah, their moves to partner with like anime production studios and stuff like that is just, they're seeing the potential in these medias and these like in the movies and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I think that's really great, and it's not. I I hope they don't go with Paramount, um, just because of all the. I know a very limited amount of what Paramount is doing right now in terms of like the political spectrum. I just know it's not good,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
know
They
people are canceling their Paramount
Yeah, I
subscriptions
believe
because of it.
that the executives or the owner of Paramount uh is nicely nestled underneath the wing of the Trump administration. So
Oh.
so it's one of those things where it's like I believe that they have really close connections to the Trump family, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why we see things like CBS being a little less objective in their coverage of this administration. And I mean, just look what happened with Stephen Colbert and the let's see the Senator Hopeful. I forgot his first name, but his last name is Tellerico. He was
Mm-hmm.
going to have an interview on Stephen Colbert, and apparently the FCC contacted the late night show and said that they couldn't have him on unless they also included other potential candidates as a way to kind of deter Stephen Colbert from holding that interview. But Stephen Colbert then released it on YouTube and then garnered all this attention for Tellurico. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's a problem. It's a real problem.
Yeah. Um, Aside from that, like they're after losing the bid,
Mm-hmm.
them announcing they wouldn't be releasing Avatar, uh, the next Avatar movie, the
Mm-hmm.
animated one, The Legend of Aang in theaters, it's not very promising. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not.
like, oh, I'm a sore loser,
Mm-hmm.
I
I
don't want to do this
I'm gonna use
anymore
that money
type
that I
of
would have
vibe.
used to release it in theaters to instead, bid for Warner Brothers.
Yeah. I don't yeah, it's weird.
It's
Um,
so dumb. God, I hope they
yes.
don't win that bid.
Mhm. So let's see. Maybe in this coming week we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Netflix puts in more money. Um, I don't think they will run out of money to win. Like, there's just so much money making potential there. Like,
Yeah.
you guys have to have more. Put in
Right.
more money.
If you go with Netflix, you can get more money in the long run.
You
All
can,
right,
yeah,
because I'm
you'll
pretty
just get
sure.
it back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some like backdoor revenues, something that they're gonna be getting. So just go with Netflix, man.
Just do it. So that's that. That one's a short one. Let's go with let's go with that one last. So I want to go over Kei Urana. She's the mangaka of Gachikuta.
Right?
Um, so I only heard this because of like an Instagram reel, of some rumors that were spreading of her, and that it could be started by the My Hero community,
No way.
of all places. And I was like, I know that their fan base is notoriously toxic,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how you can trace this back to that fan base. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why would they be? Anyways, so I looked it up. She's actually not non-binary. She does not go by they them pronouns.
Right.
She only went by them earlier in her career to maintain anonymity. I
Yes,
think because yeah, because it's like it it may still be harder for a female creator of any kind to gain traction.
for sure.
Um, Maybe that's why she did it. I'm not sure why, but that's what she did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people started that rumor because of that.
Yeah, I
So
remember looking her up, and I came across that as well, where they said that um, she had gone by the they them pronouns in order to keep um, anonymous amongst fans,
mhm,
which is understandable, right? Like I'm pretty sure once you're most artists don't release their real names nowadays whenever they create art or release it. I mean, I don't. I
mm,
mean, even my signatures on my artwork has my actual name on it, but as far as like our stream and whenever our different social media accounts, we usually go by our pen names, right? So, I mean,
mhm.
that's 100%. That makes total sense. But why do you think that this other My Hero Academia fandom would bring this up? Is it their attempt of like starting drama with the creator, or is it just two fandoms going at each other right now?
It could be a mixture of both. I
Mm.
don't know why, because it's like, why are you guys starting drama this way?
Because it's the internet.
Are you trying to say she's faking whatever experience that may be, like non-binaryism
Oh, so they're trying to
or
make it
whatever?
a slight against the
Like
LGBTQ plus community.
exactly. And I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
like, why? Why? Like this doesn't help anybody. Like
Yeah, yeah.
you guys
It
realize we're just nerds, right? Like why are you picking writes like this? This makes no sense to me.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me either. If someone, especially if you're trying to stay anonymous online, and if you're not, it's like you said, it could be where a female mangaka may not get the, especially since she released what is essentially a shonen manga, right? So,
Mm,
female mangakas in the shonen world aren't that there aren't that many. I
mhm.
I actually I'm trying to think of the only female mangakas. Can you think of any? Is
There's a few.
is
The
it
the,
Full Metal
and even
Alchemist?
in the yeah, even
Isn't
in the
she?
Shonen Jump,
Yeah.
um, yeah, she's a female mangaka, the
Okay. So
creator of
maybe
Fullmetal
there's
Alchemist. Let
more
me
than
look
I'm
up her
thinking.
name because her name might be gender neutral. That's why people didn't catch on to for
Oh.
her
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah.
Let me look her name.
Yeah, I don't think if she was at any time trying to.
Yeah, so her name is Hiromu Arakawa.
Hmm.
Um she took the oh, she knew Full Metal Alchemist was a gender neutral anime and could be enjoyed by all.
Mm-hmm.
This is after an answer of why did Hiromu Arakawa change her name. So she actually changed it.
Oh.
This is the answer. Even after that, she took the initiative to change her pen name to resemble a man. Hiromu Arakawa did not want fans to neglect Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
So
I think
maybe it's not an
because
industry issue, but it's a social issue where people may
I
not pick
mean,
up the manga if they think that it's their their favorite shonen's being written by a woman.
oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
look at J.K. Rowling,
Yeah.
which I know fuck J.K. Rowling, but J.K. Rowling is a good example.
Mm-hmm.
When she released, she was not like whenever she got popular with Harry Potter, it was much later in her life because she was a writer before then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just none of her stuff was catching on. Um, and I think that's why she went under her like shortened name J.K. Rowling because it's more masculine.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And another female mangaka that's pretty um popular, I think it's kind of obvious she's a female mangaka, is the one for Inuyasha.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, she's female. Her name
Inuyasha
is
is considered a shonen, correct?
a shoujo. Yeah,
It's a show.
sho
Okay, it's a shojo.
yeah,
So all right.
shoujo. I think it's considered shoujo. Her other property though, Ranma One Half,
Mm-hmm.
leans a lot more towards fan service.
So it's a little bit
But
more shonen than shojo.
I guess, but you could also argue that's just the humor that was of the time.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
feel like etchiness is just a
Oh, dude, that was a straight '90s thing for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like, like
Uh huh. It
slip
was
ups and
everywhere.
stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. Like watching a lot of 90s cartoons and animes, or just specific animes,
Mm-hmm.
like if you
It could
watch
get
it right now,
uncomfortable
you're
real
like,
quick, like.
yeah, you're like, was there a lot of this? I don't remember
There
this
was.
much of it.
There
Like,
really was.
yeah. So she's another female mangaka, but she didn't have to do all this,
Mm-hmm.
run around with her name.
I mean, it would make sense if uh, how do you pronounce her last name?
Who?
Urana?
Yurana?
Urana? Yes. So it would
Yurana?
make
Yeah.
sense if she wanted to stay anonymous, so that way she doesn't get pigeonholed. Which it seems as if that happens quite often. Because it
Mhm.
seems that a lot of these female mangakas end up having to change their name so that way they don't get they don't get put into a category they don't want to.
Mhm.
Oh, the Demon Slayer. Mark says that the Demon Slayer mangaka is a woman as well.
Oh
didn't know that.
yeah. Yeah, she is.
Oh, damn.
Um Another thing with Kei Yurana is that
Mm-hmm.
she was also very active on Twitter.
Oh.
And I remember her concealing her gender identity on there to also help with like conceal her identity as the actual mangaka for Gachiakuta.
Oh,
And then
okay.
when Gachiakuta got released as an anime, she was like, "Yeah, that's me. I'm the one who I'm the one who made
Can you
Gachiakuta."
imagine
Yeah.
interacting with her online often and then finding out, holy shit, this person is a.
By the way, guys, there's an anime that's coming out. It's my property. Check it out. And you're like, "Holy shit, I talked to her
Yeah,
like
right? That would freak me out.
on
Like,
Twitter."
dude.
Yeah. Which speaking of Twitter, she has also announced she's left Twitter because she was
No,
like,
good.
"Yeah, no, this place is a hellscape.
Mm-hmm.
Screw Twitter."
Yeah, yeah. That place is a literal cesspool at this point.
Yeah, I've always hated it. But to to go past that, just wanted to clear the room because I always want to respect whatever
Mm-hmm.
gender identity people follow, but I also want to get my facts straight. Um, so
For
there's
sure,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, but the rumor mill that's going on around her right now that people are saying is being started by the My Hero community. I don't know why. Is that she's racist for the stage plays use of non-black actors to portray the black characters in
Right.
her property.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I looked it up. I was like, okay, I know that these stage plays exist. Like there was
Mm-hmm.
one for Naruto, there was one for I think Demon Slayer. Like there's a lot of you'd be surprised how many stage plays there are of animes.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
know that the Broadway-esque industry in Japan is huge.
yeah, always surprises me. But so they made one for her property. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, do mangakas have a connection to the stage plays? Um, and it said no. They actually have no control over their own, which is crazy to me. They have
Yeah.
no control over their own property.
Yeah, I think we kind of touched on this last stream where it was like I was doubting whether or not they even have a lot of control whenever their property gets turned into an anime, right? And it seems as
Mhm,
if it's even less so for for if their property gets turned into a play, which is
mhm.
crazy.
Yeah, I think it's different in obviously different countries,
Mhm.
um, and for different mediums. So
Right.
yeah, I did read that they don't really have that much say in the stage plays
Mhm.
to give the creative liberties and freedoms to the directors of the stage play. I don't
Right.
know. That's what I read, and I don't think it makes sense. But she she has tried, and I wish people would like look this up. Maybe people did, right?
Mhm.
But I was like,
Or they
okay,
just ignore it.
what? Yeah, what did she must have tried to do something, right?
Mhm.
Because she's very vocal on Twitter. And she did. She did. She requested for the director to try and find black actors who spoke Japanese to
Mhm.
portray the black characters in the stage play. The director said they couldn't find any with enough e- experience,
Right.
which a lot of people speculate is a lie.
It's probably
They
BS.
probably, yeah, probably
Yeah.
just didn't try hard enough.
Yeah.
Um, and then she has also tried to just tell them, okay, then just please don't use blackface. Please don't use makeup to
Mm-hmm.
try and darken the actor's skin to match the characters, and they didn't do that either.
so So, whenever you brought the subject up, I didn't know about the stage play either. I hadn't run across anyone talking about it yet. But whenever I looked it
Mhm.
up and I found the photographs for it, which I'll probably put the photographs up on the VOD. Um, yeah, yeah, they definitely darken these characters, and it's like it's not like hey they're covering their faces with shoe polish or nothing, but it's definitely yeah they're trying to make the characters out to be darker because obviously in the manga and in the anime these are black characters. Um, I tried looking at this from a Japanese standpoint, right? Which obviously I'm pretty sure there aren't going to be a ton of, black Japanese actors in Japan. I'm pretty sure there's a few, but there's probably not a lot. And the Japanese are, they're really hell bent on keeping um a lot of properties that they promote. Well, I mean, okay, so let's be frank. They've gone pretty far right in the recent in their recent elections, right?
Mm.
And they've gone very anti-immigrant over there as well. So
Mm.
it doesn't it doesn't surprise me too much that they are now like all of a sudden being like, no, we need actors that speak perfect Japanese or else they don't meet the cut. And yeah,
Oh.
and I'm pretty sure this weeds out a lot of potential black actors um in Japan. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, Japan has always been known to be very xenophobic, especially the older generations. And I'm pretty sure the people who are directing these plays aren't exactly millennials. You know what I mean? So so yeah, man, I don't doubt that they were just trying to exclude as many actors as they possibly can for the play, which really sucks because this has really got to hurt um um the mangaka because she seems like a very inclusive individual. I mean, hell, just looking at her manga alone, she's obviously for inclusivity.
Mhm.
She's inspired by Western culture, and then for this to happen, I mean, has got to just utterly piss you off as a creative.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'd be upset.
Yeah, I'd be super upset. Especially like I mean, she obviously has a appreciation for hip hop culture, for, the culture that graffiti stems from, right?
Mhm.
Um and it's an urban culture. It's an American urban culture. And
Mhm.
for, you know, for for somebody to come along and take your property and just kind of just like says, you know, fuck your feelings on this. We're gonna do it
Yeah.
our way. I can only assume, I don't know. I know. What do? You either, and I'm pretty sure she really doesn't. Although she's probably monetarily benefiting from this, she doesn't have a lot of say so in it, and I'm pretty sure, it's the anime production company that are just kind of working the dealings for this, because it's like
Mhm.
we said before, the moment these production companies get the rights to a property, yeah, it's completely out of your hands past that point. So
I
I don't
think
know.
I think that's why people are criticizing her too. Like, "Oh, then why did you
Take the
sell
money.
out your property?" I hate when people say that. "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you're such a sellout." Like, "Oh,
Man,
you sold your
everybody,
thing
yeah,
and da da da."
it's
Like
so
they said that
dumb.
with it is dumb. They said that with the creator of Hell of a Boss,
Mm-hmm.
Has Been Hotel. They were saying she sold out because she sold her um what is it? The merch rights or
Yeah.
something like her merchandise is being sold in Hot Topic and people
Mm-hmm.
didn't like that. I don't know why, but they
Oh
called her a
God.
sellout for it. And I was just like, bro, let this woman get her bag. Like
Yes, man. Like there's
if
two
I
things. There's two things that all artists would like in their lives. A, to get their art in front of as many people as possible, and B, to make a living off of their art.
we
For
want to
you,
eat.
yeah, we need to eat, and making a living off of our art allows us to continue to make art. Okay. For somebody to come along and be like, "Oh, well, all you're trying to do is make money." Well, no shit, Sherlock. None of this stuff is free.
And to which they'd argue too. Oh, then you're not a real artist because you're not doing it for the
No, man.
for
This
the
idea that
for the
artists have
message.
to be, yeah, that artists have to be starving in order to be real artists is utterly stupid. There could be an argument made for certain artists to become out of touch. Sure, like I'm pretty sure once you hit a certain income bracket, you can no longer relate to the life that you lived before whenever your art originally became popular, right? Like
Mhm.
art is a reflection of your life and your views and your environment. So yeah, obviously your art's gonna change, the moment you get into a completely different environment because of how much money you make. But let's be honest, most artists don't reach the top 1% income levels.
Mhm.
So if we want to make a slightly nicer living by doing our art, then yeah, man, you're gonna try to make that bad. You're gonna try to make the merchandise. You're gonna, you know, I think one of my favorite quotes came from what's his name, the creator of the Crow. Um, I believe his name is like James O'Barr. I remember seeing an interview with him, and this kind of stuck in my head because the interviewer goes up to him and says, like, how do you feel about, a movie being made and not, being faithful to your original creation? And this was roughly around the time, I believe, whenever the most recent movie came out, because that was kind of like critically panned, right? And one of the things he said is like, "Hey, man, like, I'm trying to make a buck here. Anybody that says that my artwork is ruined because of a movie or whatever, he's like, you could still go to the bookstore and buy my book, right? Like the
Mhm.
property still exists the way I originally created, and I'm going to keep creating various properties from my perspective, right? Um, and that's the way I kind of feel about it, right? It's like, yeah, you may be upset that this artist wants to make a living off of something they created, and you may not like the thing that they created from your art. But at the end of the day, you can always go back and buy the artist's original property.
Mhm.
You can go back
Yeah.
and buy their art. You can go back and buy their manga, or buy their comic book, or buy their prints, and it gives that artist the ability to continue to create the things that you like. So
Mhm.
just chill, guys.
And then
Um,
also just paying attention to what they do
mm-hmm.
after that failed adaptation of their property is being made,
Mm-hmm.
like with Kei Urana, she's actively asking the people who's making the stage play to please, do it this way, do
Mm-hmm.
it this way.
Yeah.
And it would be so easy for her to just be like, it's out of my hands, I can't do anything
At
with
least she's
it,
using
I
her
have no.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah, like she could literally just tell people like, I can't do anything,
Mm-hmm.
like they have full control. No, it's been on record that she actually has tried to say something even if it is out of her control. Like you just got to pay attention to what people do after the fact, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like if they're actively trying to change, stuff that's happening with their property, it's more telling
Mm-hmm.
than them just quote quote selling out or just
Exactly.
getting their bag, you
Yeah.
know? Like she's
Or sometimes
trying.
they go the complete opposite route like J.K. Rowling. Where they
Yeah,
just become the
that's
most insufferable people.
yeah, that's the other thing too. Like that goes with that too. Pay attention to what these creators do afterwards. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just so telling of their actual character. And J.K. Rowling could easily just, and this is what I told a bunch of people too, like you could just easily just not say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, sure, your opinion's shit, whatever. But you could have easily just said nothing and
Yeah.
no one would have
Yeah.
batted an eye and knew that you were actually a shit person. But
Mm-hmm.
she makes it a point to
You
make it
had to
known
be sure to let the
you're a
whole damn world
shit
know.
person. you're, you're
Especially
actually
having a
not a good
property.
person.
Yeah, especially after having a property where it's like your property's pretty inclusive, man. And
It's
had some
crazy.
pretty decent morals, and then all of a sudden you turn out to be this kind of person? What the shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
How does that
That's
happen?
total whiplash, all that with all that. Like, I could not believe it because it was like, "Really?
Mm-hmm.
You really? This is how you turned out? Okay, that's great. Thanks a lot for ruining my childhood,"
Right.
basically.
Now I can't properly enjoy this property
Now
anymore.
now
Way
I
to
just can't
go.
look at it the same. Yeah.
Yeah. God, man.
Oh,
So annoying. But it
rest
is
in
super
peace,
weird
J.K.
that you
Rowling.
have this fandom um that is really trying to tear down this creator. I
Well,
I
that's the
mean,
thing, I don't know if it's even the My Hero community, like, why I don't know what basis that person on Instagram had to say that, like what proof they had,
mm,
because they didn't show any proof. So I'm just like, are you saying this for clickbait too? Like,
it I
are
mean,
you
it
just
very well
trying to
could be. It
garner
wouldn't surprise
response?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to drum up drama for the sake of. Don't get me wrong, right? Obviously, seeing this odd blackface in Japan is unsettling, right? I mean, like I said, first
Hmm.
time I saw it was today, and I was just like, "What in the two flying fucks is this?"
That's really bad.
It's really bad, guys. You should
It's
not be
really
doing
bad,
this.
Japan. Stop
Um,
it.
the other side of the logical side of my brain's like, well, obviously this is in Japan. They may not have black actors in Japan, but it's still a weird creative decision to be like, well, let's just darken them a bit. It's like, hey, if
Yeah, yeah. Like, I
yeah,
can agree that maybe they might not have a lot of black
maybe not.
actors
Who
in Japan.
knows?
I can totally believe that.
Yeah,
But there's
but
nothing saying you have to do this.
exactly.
And there's a lot of history telling you you shouldn't do this.
Yeah,
Like,
all you gotta do is look across the ocean and be like, yeah, whenever they did that, wasn't so great.
that's what I'm saying. Like the internet is so accessible and there
Yes,
has to have been someone on your marketing team that was just like,
I don't know,
"Yeah, no,
man.
let's not do that. That's
I mean,
pretty bad."
if we're gonna be honest, though, a lot of Japanese countries or a lot of Japanese companies don't seem as if they have the internet. You know what I mean? Like these
I
guys seem
Yeah,
as if
yeah,
they're
yeah.
still stuck in the 80s.
It really makes you wonder,
Mm-hmm.
like, because, I grew up Filipino and
Yeah.
my parents, grew up in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
They really had no idea about, like, American history.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course you learn bits and pieces because c countries and stuff like that
Yeah.
intermingle.
Yeah.
The
Through cultural
Philippines had
osmosis for the most part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've also become, like, a protected property by the
Mm-hmm.
US, so obviously there was some tie in there. But they're not gonna know like everything
Mm-hmm.
about like what happened in the US, let alone blackface for one, you know?
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
kind of give them some leeway there, but it's just like we're in the 21st century where people are like actively talking about things.
Yeah.
But then again, you have to think about it this way because the content that is geared toward us, like that content's only seen by us, like an
Yeah. It could be
American
completely
audience.
different over there. Um.
So yeah, I kinda take it back, like, maybe they just don't know, which makes me
I
kind of
I don't know, man, because
sympathize.
it's like I watch a number of influencers that are in Japan where it's
Mm,
like they have a pretty big following in Japan too. So it's like
mm,
obviously there's some cross cultural pollination going on there. So and then to even have a manga like Gachyokuta come out that has
mm.
such heavy influences from the West, like I don't see how that. And again, we're again talking about like whoever is directing this play could, for the most part, just be of an older generation who do not give two flying rats' asses about
Yeah.
what's
They could just
happening.
align yeah, they could just align with those old ideologies,
Mm-hmm.
like, that Japan is kind of known for, like, they're
Yeah.
just against foreigners and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Which is very unfortunate, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
unfortunate to hear too that they're just kind of leaning towards that, politically
Unfortunately.
as well.
Yeah, they're leaning
Yeah,
into heavy anti-immigrant sentiments over there.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, it's
Mark makes a
it's
good
just
point where he says that don't a lot of Japanese companies still primarily use fax machines? From what I've heard, yes. I think it wasn't until recently where banks, local Japanese banks, started issuing debit cards. From what I hear,
what do you
so
mean? What do you mean?
so apparently, from what I've heard, is that and this is coming from Japanese influencers, right? Who live
Mm,
in Japan. They talk about
mhm,
how they have to take money out of their banks and that they have a credit card and a debit card. They're two separate cards. You know how we can use our debit cards um, for purchases that aren't exactly debit, right? Like it's you
mm,
you can use the card everywhere. Or I'm sorry. So there's one card that they can only draw money out from, right? Like go to an
mhm,
ATM and draw money out. And then there's another card that you can use for everyday purchases, and that they have to use these separately. And that in order to like transfer, let's say if you have a out of country banking account, right? In order to be able to wire money between two international banks, that it becomes a whole process because they have to use like it's extremely slow. There's like five levels of bureaucracy and everything is like faxed from from one
jeez.
company over to the other. And every time I hear these stories, I'm like, oh God, that sounds horrific.
Yeah.
Like they talk about having to walk around. I forgot what it's called, but there's this specific stamp that they use in Japan in order to sign important documentation. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
you can
Mhm,
only use that stamp. You can't just write your signature,
mhm,
which is, it's probably something that's left over from, older generations that they still implement today, which is crazy in the digital age, right? I
mhm.
mean, like sometimes it baffles me that we can't vote via phone with how digital we've become as a world,
Yeah, it's kind
but
of crazy. Mhm.
but yeah, to think about the hoops they have to jump through for this is crazy, man. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if, well, A, it doesn't surprise me that they're doing this B, it is a big shock to us because we've learned over the years that this is a big no no, right? Like, you should probably stay away from doing blackface as much as possible. But on the other hand of it, well, I don't. I was about to say that black culture is relatively new to Japan, but I don't even think that's true. I don't think that's true at all. I mean,
Just yeah, I think
yeah.
in a way they think, and I've seen this argument too with
Mm-hmm.
cosplayers, that they're not committing blackface um in the toxic form that it was,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Like
Yeah.
it's just really bad caricatures of black people. Like
Right.
very racist characters of black people. That's what it was performed, and it was made to mock them and their
Mm-hmm.
skin and everything, and
Yeah.
their stereotypical facial features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was just all bad. But right now, what people are is in the cosplay community and maybe even in Japan, they're saying that it's not that. It's to one be true to the original character, in
Mm-hmm.
which case you could argue, well, then if you want to be true to the original character, just hire a black person.
Right.
Um, the other thing is that they're just like the same way they're appreciating a culture by learning about like the clothing and the music and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're also honoring that culture through the skin tone,
You know,
which,
that may not be far from the truth, only because we don't
yeah.
know if they have the same racist undertones that exist here in the United States, right?
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, whenever it comes to racism, that's such a granular thing depending on where you are in the world, right? Because right now there's a big old fight that's happening between South Koreans and and Filipino people. So, from what I see online, so
Oh, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. Yep.
oh yeah, the racism that's happening between these two Asian cultures is insane. So I don't, you know, maybe they don't have the same type of animosity that exist, or the the animosity racism that exists here. So to
Yeah.
them it could
It's
be
like
more appreciative as opposed to being more, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
it's more
Not
appreciative than it is
than it
like
is mocking the skin color or
mocking.
anything to
Yeah,
that degree. Yeah,
exactly.
because they have no idea what minstrel shows were, or at least I'm assuming they don't have any idea what minstrel shows were and what they represented here in the United States. You know, even though
Mm,
like, you know, a lot of people can make the argument that anime was is a descendant of like, you know, animation that came from out of Disney, you know, and that and you know there's arguments that there was cross pollination with early Disney works, and early Disney works had callbacks to
racist
minstrel shows.
depiction.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it may not be the same, but it's still a shock to see it in modern day world because we understand that it's something that shouldn't be done.
Hmm.
But again, who knows if they know that?
Yeah. Um, it's definitely interesting to see just
Mhm.
how different like cultures and people are just around the world. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
and what they're seeing as opposed to what we've seen throughout history. Like,
Mhm.
I think it's just also, yeah, you just have to be mindful that people aren't experiencing fully the same things as we are.
Mhm.
Um, but I think also a- as a society now, we're just so connected
Exactly.
in, in more ways than we've ever been. I
Mhm.
think it's up to us to properly educate ourselves. Like, okay, the the whole world is kind of going crazy over this. What are we doing wrong?
Yeah,
Like what
yeah.
is, you
Learn
know,
from it, you know?
yeah,
Take
and
the
then be
lesson
like,
and learn.
"Oh, that's why it's wrong,"
Yeah.
and then just learn from that and move on. Because um a lot of animes that I've seen, and a lot of people will point this out with animes,
Mhm.
is that they still kind of have some bad depictions of black people
Yeah.
in their
Yeah.
properties. Like for example, one that I remember so vividly is The Promised Neverland, the
Oh, yeah.
the new mother that they
The
get.
second nanny. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
that was not
That was
was
n
not
that
it.
was not
Like
good.
it was kind of bad. So
They gave her a
yeah,
mammy-esque look, you
like
know?
that was just not like that. Come on.
I mean,
So
just
they
yeah. Look at another character that comes to mind, and it's an older character, but Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh yeah, Mr. Popo is
Dragon Ball in
also kind of
general.
bad.
Yeah, he had a really bad way of depicting black people. So
Like,
bad.
come on now. But yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting to see
Mhm.
how different cultures, how differently everyone's just going through their own thing
Mhm.
in their own way. What?
What always gets me, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but it's like so you have the anime community, the fan community here in the United States, right? And a lot of times whenever you bring up stuff like that, where it's like, hey, the Japanese need to learn about other cultures and be a little bit more sensitive towards various things like we're talking about here, or how they depict women, or how to fan service and age of consent and all this stuff. And there's a large group in the anime community that get mad whenever you start addressing this, because they're like, oh, you're just trying to change Japanese culture, and you're trying to make them woke, or whatever the hell excuse that they come up with, or whatever the hot word is of the year. And
Mhm.
it's like, no, because it's okay to let a culture know whenever it's doing something that's not so great.
Mhm.
It's like I get it, right? Like I get that, some people are like, well, it's not our place to tell a nation how to be. But obviously anime is, it's no longer a niche product, right? It's global at this point. And whenever things go global, right? Like as a creator, you have the responsibility of being a little bit more in tuned to your to the broader audience outside of just the Japanese one, and
Mhm.
dude, I've seen so many arguments lately where people are like, no, like they only need to cater to the Japanese, they don't have to cater to anybody else. And it's like, not really, because they sure as hell
Mhm.
take global money, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're okay with taking everybody else's money. So it's, and unless if they want to keep that trend going, you kind of have to be more conscious of the
Mhm.
people who are ingesting and buying your product.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one. It feels like it's a field of landmines that you have to transverse. But I in all honesty, all creatives go through it in some form or another, and all international companies have to take these kind of things into consideration. And you know, manga and anime production companies are no different than any other gigantic global conglomerates anymore. So, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
Mhm.
Mark says that one guy from the Red Ribbon Army in Dragon Ball. Yes, yes, I know. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Even a more recent example is look at the um, in One Punch Man. There is a S tier hero. Oh man, I can't remember his name now. He's a black man, but he's like indestructible, and I can't remember his name, but even he looks super stereotypical.
I think I remember someone.
Yeah, do you oh, his name is Super Alloy Darkshine.
Yeah.
And the way they make him look in the anime is it's horrific, man. They give him the light colored, tire tube lips, and his eyes are
Yeah,
super
that
wide and
that one, like the lips thing is just not
yeah, it's
it.
not it, guys.
Like,
You
why are you guys doing
you
this? Like,
mangakas gotta
this
stop
is
doing
not
that.
good.
It's just not good at all. Oh man.
I think our art our screens are frozen.
Oh no, is it frozen? Let me check
Yeah, I
here.
think so.
Uh,
There we go. That's better. But yeah, so I'm gonna go on with the next topic, if you don't mind.
nope, go right on ahead.
Okay, so I do want to touch on this one. Um, Mark Zuckerberg testified yesterday in a trial about social media's impact on children's mental health.
Hmm.
Um, People are seeing this as this era's big tobacco moment. People's pushback against tobacco and how there's no regulations for it for younger people. Like they were allowed to buy it way back when. And maybe not even way back when. It was pretty recent that they just were like, yeah, no, let's not do that. They kids shouldn't be allowed to purchase these things and smoke them. Um, yeah, but so I think it was this woman who put him on trial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard about that lawsuit. Like she started the lawsuit about the negative effects of social media. And I believe YouTube tried to claim that they weren't a social media website, if I remember correctly. So you were saying that he was getting sued by one woman. I don't know what her name is, but essentially they're suing social media websites because of the impact that they have on children's mental health.
hmm Basically, that it has like an addictive quality to
Mm-hmm.
it and that it causes like mental health issues like depression and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that's why people are seeing it as this era's big tobacco moment because there weren't any regulations on purchasing tobacco because kids back then could buy it like for their parents and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, right? Yeah, of
Right.
course, they're totally buying it for their parents. They're not buying it for
They're not
themselves
buying
so
it for
they can.
themselves at all.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it definitely didn't cause child addiction to tobacco. Like,
No way. No way.
um, so I can definitely see her argument.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I get it.
I get it too. I definitely get it
But
too.
yeah, but um they've already tried putting regulations on social media sites.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not allowed to use Facebook until you're like
I believe it's
18,
18.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's age restrictions and stuff like that. I don't know if there is. I can't remember. I'm too old to remember if there are age restrictions for TikTok or like Instagram or or anything like that, right?
I
Because
believe there are age restrictions. Like for instance, I think like Twitch. I think the youngest you could be is um somewhere around 15,
mm,
somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken. Facebook. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure most social media has age restrictions.
yeah, I know that Tumblr has like a filter where you can turn off if you can see like NSFW stuff or not,
Mm-hmm.
like when you're scrolling through like your discover page or stuff like that. I think Twitter does as well.
Yeah.
So there's that. So there have already been regulations in place. To me, I think it's up to, the parents to monitor what their children are doing
Yeah.
online. Um,
Let's see. From what I
there,
can see here, social media sites like TikTok, Instagram, so I guess all of Meta, um, and let's see, they have their age restriction starts at 13. They're trying to
that's
raise
pretty.
it to 16. Let's see here, but 13 is a crazy age.
13 is pretty young.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty young. Um,
because I remember it not being 13 when I
yeah.
was when Facebook first came out. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no. I
I mean, to be
remember.
fair, whenever Facebook came out, I think I was already like, I had practically almost graduated high school, I believe. So I was already pretty up there in age whenever
You're
I
already
got on
that
Facebook.
age.
Yeah, I was already of
Um,
age.
for me, I wasn't, because I remember my friend being like, "Hey, do you have a Facebook?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not allowed to have one. Or I don't even know how to make one." And she's like, "Here, I know how to do it.
Oh
Like
man.
let me just take care of it." She made my email address for me and all that stuff, and I was like, "How do you know how to do this?"
Right.
We're in middle school. But I was like, not very uh, online
Right.
at that
Right.
time. But anyways, like that's to say, like even if you do put these restrictions on these websites, like
Mm-hmm.
kids are smart. Like kids
Yeah, they'll
will
they'll
find a
find a way
way,
of getting on
like they
for
did,
sure.
like my friend did for me. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
just gonna find ways around it.
Yeah.
Which is why like you need, as parents, like you need to build this trust with your kid.
Mm-hmm.
And even still, like your kid's gonna hide stuff from you and
For
stuff like that.
sure.
It's just,
Yeah.
I think that's just the way it goes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really instilling like this thought process into your kid's head, like, hey, like I'm always gonna be there for you, you know, here's some stuff that's just clearly wrong. If you ever see it, don't be afraid to talk to me, or just shut it down, say no, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't listen to what these people say on social media. Like you don't need like this type of body or this type of makeup routine or the
Right.
latest whatever. Like you're just a kid. like um
Yeah. Like I'm not
uh
gonna lie, it social media, thankfully whenever I was younger in, especially like in elementary and middle school, social media wasn't really a thing yet, right? There was a few
mm,
things here and there, AOL chat rooms and stuff like that that were just as dangerous, and let's be honest, but it
yeah.
wasn't it wasn't as prolific as it is now, right? I
Mhm.
remember being in high school and having a MySpace for the first time. And even MySpace was probably a little bit better because it was so closed off. It was only you and your friends. And then
Yeah.
Facebook came around, and there was just like, yeah, it's your account open to the whole world. Um, and it's hard for me to imagine a social life if social media existed, right? Because there at that point there's no separation between school and your home life, because there used to be that for me. Whenever I was younger, I would go to school, whatever drama was happening there, I wouldn't have to deal with it whenever I got home. Nowadays kids have to deal with it what feels like 24/7, and it's only gotten worse since then. And that's just the bullying aspect of it. Whenever we start talking about the mental health, and the obsession with other people's lives, obsession with influencers, it becomes a lot scarier. And I can understand how um, parents would want more accountability from social media websites, but I'm I am heavily on your side in that this kind of comes down to the parents, right? Like,
Hmm.
we have to teach our kids. um you kind of got to teach your kids how to unplug. Like, yeah, yeah, Mark's right. You can't escape it unless you unplug completely. And I think parents kind of have to, you have to teach your kid that there has to be a separation between, at this point, between your online life and your everyday life. That's going to be hard. That's something I think about nowadays, these days, right? If anybody doesn't know, I am the father of a daughter. um so these type of things scare the ever living shit out of me thinking about it right now. Right, having to think
Yeah.
about, as she gets older, how is she gonna, not only do I have to worry about her social interactions at school, right, but then I have to start worrying about, well, what about whenever she starts getting on the social media, and how to separate those two lives. It's worrying. It makes it to where I have to be sure that I'm completely on top of everything technologically speaking, right? Um, and I mean, ultimately, it falls on the parents. You know,
Hmm.
you have to, you kind of have to teach your kid to unplug, unplug
Yeah.
from, yeah, unplug.
Teach them that, and then also teach them like that they can trust you
Mm-hmm.
with what's going on if it ever does, because I think it's just going to happen, like
Yeah,
hopefully not the worst stuff, but you're gonna run into some weird stuff, right? Because
yeah,
it's the internet.
yeah. You're gonna run
um
into, the
yeah.
doxing is a thing. You're gonna run into that. It kind of reminds me of, like, whenever kids used to be taught on how to deal with bullies in real life, right? Where you have
Hmm.
to teach your kid some resilience. Obviously, as parents, you kind of even want to go after the parents of the bully, right? But whenever we're talking about the digital world, there's no going after an IP address.
Hmm.
There's no going after some anonymous troll on some website. So I think it forces the parents to kind of teach their kids that much more resilience towards, you know people who are online. The
Hmm.
the online anonymous faces. Um, like I said, I think about this stuff a lot. Like, how am I going to teach my kid to, be strong, to not allow faceless profiles on the internet discourage her, or depress her, or not to compare herself too much to influencers. And it really is going to come down to, me just like, kind of like, separating the digital world from her real world. And I don't know, that's gonna become so hard, and it freaks me out, man. It does freak me out as a parent, right? Trying to figure out, like, how am I gonna deal with these, you know it what's essentially that could end up being a 24-hour bully session. you know uh
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. It's something I try to figure out all the stinking time. But
Yeah.
I hope that this lawsuit does become a um because it's like you said, kids will always find a way to get in line, even if you do teach them how to keep their digital life and their real life separate. They're gonna find a way to always interact with their friends. They're gonna find ways to um, gain access to things that you may not want them to. So
Yeah.
regulations should be um, to a degree they should be not enforced, but put in the books, right? Like, I was just looking it up, and the age limit for mostly all the social media websites out there is 13. that's
Hmm.
that's really low.
Yeah, I do remember it being um 18 when I was
yeah
younger.
I
For
always
for
thought
Facebook at least.
Yeah, I always thought Facebook was like for college students in the beginning. So you had
Yeah.
to be 18 or older. But apparently
Mhm.
that's changed. And I don't know if that's changed for the better. But then the next question at that point is like, okay, well, what does regulation look like? Are we talking about like now we have to upload our personal information to social media sites, which is scary in itself because social media sites are always being um
Hacked.
yeah, exactly. So do I want Facebook to be able, or Meta, let's say Meta, right? Because that includes Threads and Instagram and Facebook. Do I want Meta to be able to recognize my face through my phone? Do I
Hmm.
do I want Twitch? Do I want Twitch to have like a kids Twitch and a adult Twitch? Do I want YouTube's kind of like that already, right? Like where it's like you have YouTube Kids and regular YouTube.
But even that doesn't protect
No,
kids
no, not
because
not as
there are
much as you would like
people,
it to.
yeah, there are people uploading like some really weird stuff that
Super
kids
weird
are
stuff.
like Elsagate and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if you
yeah.
know that.
Oh, I
If
definitely
you
know
don't,
what that is.
it's like stuff that is for like regulated quote quote for kids
Mm-hmm.
doesn't fully work. It does like
Yeah,
it's
and
not perfected
yep.
and like I think in that case for Elsagate and stuff like that, yes, it is on the people who run social medias and stuff like that to
Mm-hmm.
police that because you shouldn't be letting these creepy people
Yeah,
on
yeah.
on your platform like doing creepy things and
Yeah.
showing it to children.
It's
Like
it's gonna
that's where the
be
regulation should
Yeah,
be.
it's going to be a two-pronged attack that has to happen, right? Parents have
Yeah.
to become more involved. They have to
Hmm.
be more informed on the world of technology out there. And then it has to be partnered with regulation that's coming from the social media websites, right?
Hmm.
And them not employing techniques that causes their viewers or the people who are participating in the social media to become addicted, right? Like there's these little techniques that these social media websites use to keep you on there longer. Not only the algorithms, but also something as simple as like, have you ever tried to like if you're on TikTok and you're trying to get off of TikTok and you press the back button to close the app, but then before it allows you to close the app, you have to hit the back button twice, but it shows you a brand new video before you do, little things like that. And these things are made to keep eyes on the app, on the program. And
That's a good point.
maybe we need to start regulating things like that and saying like, hey, as an app you're not allowed to do that. Like,
Yeah.
your content needs to be able to stand on its own. If a person wants to get off your app, you're not allowed to get in their way. Or
Yeah.
you know even whenever it comes down to the algorithms, and maybe it really does have to come down to like, hey, I don't know how you would do this because I'm not a programmer, but like, most algorithms promote rage baiting its viewers, right? Um, like if you're not a user who's constantly blocking or discouraging rage bait material coming across your timeline's going to be filled with it because that's what gets you to engage um, through social media. I know TikTok does that constantly. So does Instagram. Um, Obviously, the hellhole that is Twitter, they're constantly trying to get you to rage against something. And again, I don't know how you regulate something like that, but there has to be something put in place. Yeah, Dalgok makes a good point. He says that the real problem with regulation is the amount of manpower that's needed to regulate it and the exposure to the moderators. Yeah, and a lot of these social media websites are now trying to employ AI to be the moderators, which opens a whole new slew of a whole new can of worms because now you have these AI moderators. Sometimes they'll suspend an account for something as small as you use the wrong word or something accidentally flashed across your stream or God knows what, and or somebody mass reports your stream or something to that degree. So yeah, everything feels like a double-edged sword. Everything feels like you're having to walk a steel wire trying to get to the other side. But I think at the same time we have to toe that line and try to find a balance between parental accountability and corporate accountability. They both have to exist in the same world. Because yeah, that scares me for my own kid. I ugh, ugh. She's starting school, 5th grade for the first time this year, and it freaks me the hell out, man.
First grade?
Huh? Oh, kindergarten.
First
Sorry.
grade? Kindergarten?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you said 5th grade in the fir
Oh, sorry,
I was
sorry.
like,
My
"What?
mistake. Yeah, she's starting
It's grown
kindergarten
so fast."
this year. Right. She's starting kindergarten this year, man. And it's like, that's besides the normal things of school shopping and making sure that she's not going to bawl her eyes out, first day, and I'm not going to bawl my eyes out her first day. And, how is
Oh.
she going to get along with other little kids? Now I have to worry about as she gets older and as classrooms are becoming more digital nowadays. And I mean, how am I going to it's like, how am I going to then uh uh usher that and hopefully guide her in a way where it's like she's not going to get wrecked by these just bad actors online. I mean, people are horrible online. And let's be honest, the internet world is a horrific place. If you find yourself on the bad end of an opinion or a comment or the way you look or just anything, So yeah, yeah, there's a lot of resilience that you have to teach yourself and your future generations, and it's got to be a two-pronged attack. It's got to be accountability from both parents and corporations. How
Mhm.
that's gonna look, who the hell knows? Who
Yeah,
knows? I
but,
hope we come to a
based off
solution,
of
though.
yeah, based off of what's happening now, though, some people are speculating there's gonna be regulations for AI next.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, if this is the conversation that's spurring from social media alone,
Oh man.
like, just the just the amount of, generated AI generative AI that helps feed that,
Yeah.
because there
Yeah.
is,
Exactly.
you know, that
Mm-hmm.
helps feed that, um, addictive qualities and in some content that just doesn't help your mental health at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. AI
Eh,
psychosis is definitely a
yeah,
thing.
and then just even like the fake stuff that's coming out, like stuff that's just not. even real,
Oh my God,
that
yes.
people are trying to use to push an agenda, even if it
Mm-hmm.
is maybe uh towards a good agenda, it's still not right. Like that's just not ethically sound, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not helping people's psyches at all, because I think it is messing up people's
Oh,
heads,
for sure.
because
For
like you
sure.
don't know what's real or not. And yeah, so I think it's going to start spurring that question too, like, hey, we should probably start regulating this thing
Yeah.
because of how much it is also affecting just not just little kids' brains, but
Mm-hmm.
just uh the
Adult
whole
brains.
general, yeah, just the
Yeah.
general um what is it, audience
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I follow this one influencer who kind of goes over he debunks AI videos, right? Whenever he comes across them, or he
Hmm.
teaches you how
Audit.
to yeah, how to, pick an AI video out from a real one. And his most recent video, he was talking about, I believe this is whenever, what is it called? Sundance? Sea Dance?
Sea dance, yeah.
Sea Dance. Yeah, whenever Sea Dance came out, he was like, okay, so, the bad news is that AI has gotten so good that it's hard to just visually pick out if the video is fake. That now what
Mhm.
you have to do is that you have to use your critical thinking skills and ask yourself, is this something that could actually happen? Or
Yeah.
ask yourself, or look for multiple sources of this thing happening before you believe it. And that's
Yeah.
scary, right? Because we live in a world where even with empirical evidence of a number of things, people still don't believe it.
Mhm.
Much less
Yeah.
not being able to tell if a video is real or not. Like, people don't even
Mhm.
like looking up multiple sources for verified things, much less this now. And oh my
Mhm.
God, I can't imagine the kind of world that's going to be coming if AI together with social media is just allowed to run rampant. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
forget about, what it's going to be doing to the kids. The real question is, what is it going to do to the adults?
What's it gonna do to everybody?
Yeah,
Like,
what is it
that
going to do
just
to everybody, man?
think about that. Yeah. Let's all think about that. Yeah. So, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the day. I think it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen, hopefully soon. I think just because also it's not helping our environment as well, that it's gonna start coming sooner than we think, just
Mm-hmm.
because, oh my gosh, it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um,
bad.
so before time runs out, let's go to our biggest topic for the evening. Something I wanted to touch over just
Mm-hmm.
because I'm kind of in this group as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be talking about Emiru. So
Let's do
if
it.
you guys if you guys don't know who Emiru is, she's a streamer. Um, she's an American streamer. She's 28 years old. She's half white, half Asian. I She plays video games, so she's pretty popular. And she's popped up recently, um, because of like some TwitchCon drama stuff like that, which
Yeah, oh,
was
yeah. Yeah,
pretty
she was
unfortunate.
almost
Yeah.
assaulted at TwitchCon, right?
Well, she was assaulted.
Oh, she
Like the
was.
dude,
Okay.
yeah, the dude straight up grabbed her and tried to
Ugh.
force her to like hug him or kiss
God,
him.
it's so
And I was
creepy.
just like, yeah, so definitely not good. So she's pretty popular.
Mm-hmm.
Um, over the last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? I don't remember. She is facing backlash over a stream clip about her being asked what ice is. And I'm pretty sure we all know what ice is, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
she's just joking. She's joking and laughing. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "What is that? What's ice?" And
Oh
then
God.
eventually she just goes, "Oh, I thought you meant the other ice, like ice cubes or whatever."
Jesus. Yep.
And mind you, she's an American. 28-year-old woman who lives in Texas. Like
Yeah, yeah. Like if you don't know what ice is here in this state, you really are not paying attention.
you let alone like yeah, exactly. Like of
Mm-hmm.
all states, like Texas.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's no way you don't know what that is.
It's kind of a
And
big
so
thing here.
she it is, yeah. And so she faced backlash for that. And she even and I'm glad that you put this in the little notes too.
Mm-hmm.
She even said this on stream like, "Oh, if you need to ask a streamer about politics who doesn't regularly talk about politics or whatever, like you need to like get off the internet and go touch grass," was
Uh,
her reply to that.
that irks me.
And yeah, this is what I have to say to that.
Mm-hmm.
She, she's half white, half Asian. Um, she claimed to be apolitical
Mm-hmm.
after making that statement. And like I looked up the definition of politics. It could help my argument.
Yeah.
Um, Politics acts as a primary social institution that organizes society, managing conflict and deciding how resources, rights, and duties are distributed in that society. So, because we live in a society
Mm-hmm.
that's governed by a government, we should contribute to that. We should contribute to politics. We should be trying to be educated on political issues and political, just, the state of what's going on
For
in our
sure.
society
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want bad things happening
Right.
around you. You want good things happening around you, and the best way to educate yourself about that is just, okay, how can I use my voice to fix that? Oh, well, I should probably educate myself on politics because that's what helps run at our
Everything.
society,
Yeah.
organizes it, distributes the resources, rights, and duties
Mm-hmm.
to the society, to the thing that you're living in, okay? Um, my opinion is that it's okay to not want to make your platform, whatever it is, like she streams, right? It's okay
Right.
if you don't want to portray your political stance on something. That's fine. Like
Mm-hmm.
you play video games, that's cool. But when asked, like she was being asked her opinion on ICE, I think it's wrong to answer that you're apolitical. Um, because you live in that society, right? You
Mm-hmm.
live in America. There's no way you can't be apolitical. And I'm speaking this to everybody too, whether you have a platform or not.
Yeah.
I think it's wrong to not stand on something. If you, and here's my take on that. I
Mm-hmm.
think when you claim to be apolitical or claim to, oh, I don't really pay attention to politics, I think you're lying. I think you're actually ashamed in what stance you have politically
Yeah.
because you know that a lot of people that you talk to, or in her case, her following, is like for ICE, or
Mm-hmm.
for a specific agenda. That's
Yeah.
why she chose to, oh, I'm apolitical. I don't pay attention to politics. What's ICE? Like, fuck off. You are just embarrassed about your your political standing.
Mm-hmm.
You know that people would unfollow you if they found out.
Yeah.
And like my take is you can be Democrat, you can be Republican, you can be third party, but you can't just throw away your voice or your brain to just
Mm-hmm.
be like, I don't want to get involved in politics. I'm not interested. I think you have a moral duty to yourself, as an adult, to your kids, to just the people around you, um, as part of this society to contribute in a way. So you
Mm-hmm.
just need to educate yourself on what party, whatever it is, aligns with you. Go vote. don't throw away your voice
Mm-hmm.
just because you're afraid. Even if the system is rigged, because a lot of people say that too. Oh, I don't involve myself in politics because, the system's rigged. I'm not Democrat or Republican, you know.
Yeah.
Go vote anyway
Yeah.
because they keep that record of who voted for what. And
Mm-hmm.
that might start a conversation like, hey, you know, the Republican Party won or the Democratic Party won. But look, a bunch of people in our society have voted third party. Let's look
Mm-hmm.
at the stuff that they wanted and voted for. Let's see what we can implement,
Mm-hmm.
into our government strategies and stuff like that. That's pretty popular with
Yeah.
this part of the populace.
I mean, just look what's
Um,
happening here in Texas,
yeah.
and the potential flip. Yeah.
Mm. Exactly. Like use your voice. Go vote. Go and even like after you vote, go talk about it. Like don't be afraid to educate yourself. Like go do
Yeah.
something. Use your brain. You have a brain. Like and that's what makes me so mad about her
Mm-hmm.
because it's like what excuse do you have? You
Oh
don't have
man.
any excuse. And a lot of people online are saying her what a privilege it is to be apolitical
Mm-hmm.
because you're half white.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't
And
see
wealthy at that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She doesn't see this affecting her because of the privilege that is given to her because
Mm-hmm.
of how she looks, which is ugh,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's
that's all I
sickening.
can say. That's ugh. That's gross. Like
It's gross,
but
man.
also but also, girl, you're half Asian. Like
Yeah.
you can't even like girl, wake up. Like
Yeah, this whole thing, oh my god. Whenever I first heard about it, um and I saw that quote of hers about needing to get off the internet if you're looking for a political
oh my
response to a
gosh.
non-political streamer. And and my first thought was the reason people want to understand your stance on ICE or your political takes is because people want to know who they're supporting, right? Whether that be
Mhm.
through donations, whether that be through views or, through sharing or anything, right? People want to know who is this person that they're giving their time and money to, you know? Um
Mhm.
if she can't give a surface take, just a surface take on a national incident or a national event, right? Then um I think that her political complacency and her apathy are pretty much just a testament to her just being out of touch, right? And that
Mhm.
she essentially gives a positive consent towards the events that are taking place, right? And it's like you said, I 100% agree that she's essentially just trying to not piss people off. I think this
Mhm.
has a lot to do with, she had, it's like you've pointed out in your notes, right? Like she has friends like Asmongold and Tectone who are very much conservative streamers on Twitch. Even
Mhm.
though they always try to play like this, I'm in the middle of the road, you know, political stances, but they always side with conservative takes, right? And
Mhm.
obviously, Asmongold is anti-immigration. He's professed himself to be anti-woke a number of times, and then of course Tectone became
Mm.
he became very conservative after his allegations of assault came to light. Um,
Oh gosh.
yeah, yeah, he acted like, "Oh, you brought this out in me," and
Oh, that's so awful. You're gross. You're
yeah,
actually the
it's
worst.
so stupid, man.
Ugh.
Like probably one of my favorite quotes whenever it comes to what role politics play in people's everyday lives came from Philip DeFranco, where he said that you may not fuck with politics, but politics fucks with you. Um, I don't think anybody cannot be political, um, because it's like you said, right? Politics play a gigantic role in our everyday lives. Everything, pretty much everything that surrounds us, is dictated by, how we interact with her, how or how we interact with each other. The social cohesion. That's all politics, man. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, what annoys me is that for the longest, we had this motto of keeping politics and religion out of polite conversation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it used to be thought that the reason you kept it out of conversation is because you want everyone to get along, right? You want society to move smoothly. And over time, it's just kind of proved itself to be um, a model of kind of like suppressing dissenting views, both out of the public square and even in your own home, right? And um, we should be talking politics, even if it is a little adversarial, right? Like it's okay if you disagree with somebody. You could, a lot of times, if you don't come to the conclusion of agreeing to disagree, you can maybe find a middle ground or maybe understand where the other person's coming from. I don't think most people are not sociopaths. Most people want the best for themselves and their family. Um, and talking politics usually gets you a little bit closer to finding um, the compromise that works out best for for everyone, right? Or at the very least for the majority of people. Um, I think that a lot of people like Emiru, who are trying to categorize themselves as apolitical, um, or try to make them seem as if their politics are on the sideline, um, or a lot of people who like try to play the sinner a lot of the times. I think they view themselves as like being well rounded, or maybe like unassailable. Um, but I think in our current um, era, where we have a federal government committing a whole bunch of illiberal actions, I think
Mm-hmm.
trying to be apolitical and trying to be, in the center or on the sidelines just means that you're consenting to the actions um,
Mm-hmm.
of the current administration, right? And that's what I view her statement as being, right? She's consenting to it
Yeah.
because it doesn't affect her. She is a wealthy, like you said, she's a wealthy, half Asian, half white, woman. 28-year-old woman, which I didn't know she was 28 years old. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
At that age, you
Yeah.
really should know
That
better.
yeah, you should know better. Like,
You
shame
really
on
should.
you. Like, I get it. Like a lot of us in this age are, we are mentally like I think we're mentally kind of stuck because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really ever grow. So the age that you were during COVID, that's the age that you are
Like
right
stunted.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the world literally stood still. So
True.
I
Yeah.
get it. And like, I was at a point, I put this in my notes, I was at a point in my life where I scoffed at politics and I hated talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
mainly because the people you're talking about it with would not budge on their political views,
They get a little
which
too passionate sometimes.
yeah, I wish I
Yeah.
wish I had someone who would listen to me and be like, that's why you care about that.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense to me. I
Yeah.
think I'll take, I think I'll adopt that. No, they play it like a hard, like almost like a sports.
Yeah, it's
Like,
team sports.
no,
Yeah.
this is my team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is my team, and I
Yeah.
can never change my team.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is the livelihoods of people we're talking about. This is
Yeah.
not a sports game.
We
Like,
all have
shut
to
up.
exist in the
But
same society, folks. Like
yeah, that
there's no
that's
separating
yeah.
yourself from this. But the thing is,
And
maybe
you know,
Emiru can, right? Because she's wealthy. She's separated from the overarching society at this point. Like but I think it's that much that
maybe she can
like I
maybe she
think
can what?
well she belongs to a financial bracket that's beyond what most of us will ever experience, right? Like
Mhm.
as a streamer, I'm pretty sure she may streamers that are smaller than her can make 6 to 7 figures a month. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure she is in an income bracket that's separated from most, if most of Americans. So she can separate herself. Yeah, she, like Mark said, she's a millionaire. She can separate herself from the larger or the society as a whole, right? But I think it's more disgusting that as an influencer, as somebody who tries to play herself off as being, you know, just a friend you can be on the internet with, that she is playing this apathetic, um, this doesn't worry me. I don't have an opinion on this thing that is affecting a
Yeah,
large group of people.
she's playing yeah, she's definitely playing like she doesn't care.
Yeah. And
And
that's
like I was
disgusting,
saying
you know?
earlier, like I can yeah, like I was saying earlier, I can kind of understand that because I felt that way too. But here's the
Hmm.
thing, I felt that way when I was a kid. Like
Yeah,
when it
obviously you're
like
separated from it as a kid.
when I
Yeah.
really don't feel like it affects me
Mhm.
because I can't vote at that time, you
Yeah.
know. That's when I can understand her thinking, but
Mhm.
then you think, "Oh wait, you're 28 years
She's
old?
fucking 28.
Like you need to grow up.
Like
Like
I
you are well over the age of voting. You're well past the age of college.
Mhm.
Like what what
And
what
but
like
let's be honest as well though, right? Her brand, if you've ever watched any of her streams or the ways she acts, right? Her brand is of a 28-year-old woman acting like she's a teenager, right?
No,
Like,
yeah, she's very much which is what I saw some people memeing about her, is that
mhm.
she's very much, like, infantilizing herself, which
Oh
doesn't help
yeah.
the Asian stereotype,
Exactly.
of
She
women, by the
plays
way.
she plays heavy
Um,
into it, you know?
yeah, like that like, okay, like I keep saying, "Get your bag, girl," but at the end of the day, you are a 28-year-old woman, like,
Mhm.
I'm all for getting your bag. If you play a character to get your bag, fine, whatever, go do it. But when it comes down to being a 28-year-old woman in a country where fucked up stuff is happening
Yes.
to minorities and you are half minority, well, you're a full minority because you're also a woman. You
Uh-huh.
need to take a stance on this shit, man. Like you can't keep acting like a fucking kid, which is what I'm also arguing.
Mhm.
The way she thinks is the way I thought when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I can kind of sympathize with it, but then I get
Mhm.
angry
When
remembering how
how
old
old
she
she
is.
is.
And
Yeah.
that's not okay.
It's
And
not
I
okay,
also
man.
want to say I also want to say um what else is her excuse when there are teenagers like co- college age teenagers and high school age teenagers. I don't know if middle schoolers, but I definitely know that people in high school are walking out across the
Mm-hmm.
country of their schools
That's a
to
damn good
protest
point.
ICE.
Yeah.
Yeah, they they can't vote, but they're using their voice by going out and protesting.
Mm-hmm.
And like I want to commend those
Oh,
young
for
people
sure.
for doing what they can.
Yep.
Like I honestly don't know if I would have had the guts to do it,
My support
to
is
be
fully
honest.
behind
So I
him.
want yes, I want to say keep doing what you're doing. I'm so proud of you guys. Wow, like
Mm-hmm.
how amazing. And that's to say, what is her excuse?
She
You
has
you
none.
literally have no excuse.
She
And it's
has
so
none, man.
disappointing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's disappointing. It sets it, and especially as an Asian woman myself, it's disappointing to see other women basically set us back like by acting like this. Like this is just so sad. Like and that's to say, don't be like Emiru, guys, and stop supporting her. Let's all boycott Emiru.
Right. Yeah, it says she. Yeah, it's amazing how a streamer that had such goodwill after her assault at TwitchCon just utterly
Mhm.
throw it all away because she was too, let's be honest, she was too cowardly to take a stance, right? She was too cowardly to
That's what
take
I'm
a stance
saying.
against something
Yeah.
that is, you know, obviously fascistic at the end of the day. And I hope people remember. I hope people remember. I hope society doesn't need um, society doesn't need influencers like that, right? Society needs influencers that are willing to make their voices heard, not only in the public but also at the voting booth. You know,
Mhm.
uh, I know some people think that voting sometimes isn't worth it, or sometimes they feel like voting can be rigged. But my take on it is, if voting didn't work, you wouldn't have this administration or Republicans in general doing everything they possibly can to gerrymander, suppress, or dilute the vote. Right? It works as long as people are exercising that right. So,
Mm.
you know, yeah, yeah, just, I hate to sound so harsh, but fuck Emaru and her. And
Honestly, yeah.
I don't even know whether or not to call it a grift. Um, I guess it kind of is a grift if she's just like portraying this image for the sake of making the bag. But fuck me, man. Like, yeah, you need to. It's time. It's time to grow up. You can continue to like cosplay. You can continue to do goofy things on the internet. Nobody stops you from doing that. But be informed. Be stand 10 toes down. Right. If you don't, if you support ICE, say it with your whole ass chest. And if you're afraid to do that, well then you need to either reflect on your personal stance, or
Mhm.
um, B, just reflect who you are as a person.
Yeah, if you are, like I said, if you are embarrassed by your stance,
Uh huh.
how maybe look inward.
Yeah.
Why am I embarrassed by this? Why do I care about what what other people think
Mm
if
hmm.
that's what I really support? Let's self-explore, guys. And I
Yeah.
think that's what a lot of people lack. I totally believe that's what Emiru lacks. I think I just like you said, like stay true to what you believe in.
Mm
If
hmm.
that's what you believe in, then okay, go for it, man. But
Yeah.
if for some like I'm saying, if you for some reason feel shame in it, And maybe you should change your stance. Why are
Yeah,
you following that
you know,
ideology? Why? Like, no
and
one's
then
saying you have to commit.
yeah,
Like,
and the on the other side of that, you know, it you're a millionaire, okay? Stop trying to act like you're one of us. Stop trying to act like you're just some everyday, nerdy teenager. You're a millionaire. Your life is completely different from ours, right? Stop trying to play this weird ass role of some goofy little teenage nerd that likes doing goofy little hobbies, right? Like, yeah, we all like hobbies, but your reality is completely different from ours, right?
mm,
So if you support this current administration or political system or economic system, just say it. Just say it and allow the audience to choose whatever they want. But honestly, I think at the end of the day, she's just making a business decision, right? She's making the decision that like, hey, I don't want to get political because it's gonna hurt my money. And you know, as an influencer, it, one, you need to be upfront with it. You need to let your audience know that you are this thing, and then let the audience make the decision whether or not they still want to ingest your content if that's the case. You know,
mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
stop playing this weird infantilized uh
definitely.
person,
Like,
public persona. It's just so weird.
yeah. I to I again, like it's fine for me because we're all into like notoriously childish things. Like we
Mm-hmm.
like video games, we
Yeah.
like anime, we
It's
like,
it's fine having your
it
hobbies.
yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
totally okay with that. If you like doing your whole shtick, whatever. But when it comes down to it, when you're asked a question about something that affects you as an adult in this society, that affects other people as adults in this society, you know, yeah, don't keep with the character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if that genuinely is who you are, then you really need to do some self-searching
Yeah,
because
that's
you
that's
can't,
pretty bad.
yeah, like I was ranting about earlier, you can't keep doing this. Like
Yeah,
that's just such a disservice to yourself.
it's so
And what a
weird.
privilege it is. Like what a privilege it is to keep acting that way because yeah, she has the money to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, ugh, that just
Yeah.
makes me mad. I wish I had money and I could just act like a
Here, I'll
dumb
make I'll make
bimbo
this
on the
problem.
internet.
I'll make this promise, folks. If I ever become a millionaire, you're gonna know it, and B, I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not gonna pretend like I'm somebody I'm not. like
A lot of
like
people do though.
I
Oh
know,
my
man.
gosh.
It's
A
crazy.
lot of
Like
a
I
lot
I
of these influencers
yeah.
who become millionaires.
I'm glad that most of the influencers that I watch, especially the ones that are incredibly wealthy, they still hold their principles, um, because they still remember how they were before they became the millionaire. You know what I mean?
Mm,
and
yeah.
um and they'll a lot of times they'll be the first ones to say like, hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, this isn't something that affects me, but I understand where yada 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 comes from, and I hold this stance because of so on and so forth. It's the people who like role play as the common everyday man whenever they're not, that's just really, it irks the ever living hell out of me, because it's like,
Mm,
you have influencers out there that pretend like they're for the people, and they're all about uh uh you know uh political ideals that lend to the opposite of being a millionaire, and yet they still live the life of millionaires. You know what I mean? And that
mm,
kind of stuff is disgusting. And I think Imaru is another influencer that falls into that category of, yeah, like she's just trying to sell persona, without without um I guess she's just trying to sell this false persona, um, that's more misleading to the general audience and to her fans. I would assume than it does um, give off some sort of authenticity, you know? And it's
Mm.
disgusting. And especially whenever you're dealing with something as blatantly, blatantly illiberal and just detrimental to society as a whole, as with something like ICE, you know,
Mhm.
and what they're doing. So, do better. Like I know that sounds cliche, but for the love of God, do better.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
Mm-hmm.
ugh. But
Oh man.
that's a good stopping point for
Yep.
our stream.
We are past
It's
the 9 o'clock hour.
that hour. Let's take a look at some of the stuff we worked on. Let me pull up my
Oh yeah.
Procreate.
There we go. Oh, I got kind of far. Not as far as I wanted to. Ooh. Dude, that looks awesome. Even
Thank
the
you.
highlighting that you got on it's really cool. I like that. Do you think that you could? Oh, could you somehow merge this um with your Chinese New Year Pokemon that you drew?
Oh,
That'd look.
Rapidash?
Yeah, that would look fucking
Maybe.
sick, man.
Maybe. I might, I was thinking of doing its own background, but I
Uh
could
huh.
do just a separate post just to, generate for more content, just put them together.
That looks awesome.
Um, yeah, thanks, Mark. I do really like it. I was really like thinking of tattoo art for this
Mm-hmm.
one. I might put just the black and white of it
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
like a tattoo ticket for people to get tattooed on them
Mm-hmm.
cuz it looks pretty cool.
That
Maybe
does
I'll
look
play
pretty
around.
cool. I
Thank
like
you.
that line
I might,
work.
yeah, I might play around with it a little bit more so it kind of maybe puts more of this circly stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good the way it is.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
I'm pretty proud of it.
I'm gonna keep working on
And
mine. Um, I gotta. I do have the color themes that I want down there, but now I'm gonna make it look uh, a little bit more graffiti art ish. Um,
okay.
well, because I was looking at murals that have portraits. And what I really liked about these portraits is that they use a lot of grayscale shading on
Mm,
people, and then they incorporate color into the accessories, or the background of the figures and the subjects. And I was like,
yeah.
oh, that's super cool. Like, I want to try to incorporate that, but I'll keep hammering at it, and I'll see if I can finish it by Wednesday.
Yeah, okay. I'll definitely be looking out for that because I'd like to see how it turns out because I think the color scheming here is very, very loud.
Yeah, yeah, I want it to be bright. And plus
Hmm.
it's a little different than the artwork for Kachiokuta, because she tends to use a little bit more muted colors whenever it comes to the characters, but like the backgrounds, she gets real
Yeah.
vibrant and looks really cool. And I was like, well, what if I tried doing something the opposite of that? So we'll see what happens as I keep
Mm.
noodling around with it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Love to see the finished product.
Mm. All
Yep,
right.
but that should be it for this stream, you guys. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks for hearing us rant about some pretty crazy topics. We got into it pretty heated. Um, you can find Esso at Esso Art Studio on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Please go check them out. All the links are down below. You can check me out as well on the same platforms at Lily Lilac Draws. Check out our coffee page if you'd like to donate. Much appreciated. Anyways, it's always a pleasure to gather and unwind with you guys and talk about these crazy topics. But we'll see you next time, and remember, stay creative.
Peace.
Bye.